Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, like, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucamus Prime here, so it's time for another Transformers movie review, and today guys, I'm going to be reviewing the third installment of the live-action remake directed by Michael Bay, which is called Transformers Darker Moon, released in 2011, and guys, I'm not alone today because joining me again is my very good friend X-Play, so I'm going to let him share his thoughts on the movie first, and I'll have a link to the channel below in the description, guys, go check him out, go subscribe to him on Spox, he's got a great channel, so yeah. Anyway, take it away, X-Plays.
Hello everyone, my name's Blaze, and thank you Lucamus for inviting me again for another review of Transformers. I actually really enjoy doing this. So, right now I'm gonna say my pros and cons about Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon. So, let's begin with the pros. Again, insane CGI. I can't stress this enough. The first 3 movies, in my opinion, have the best CGI. And yeah, what I was gonna say, it's so good. Another pro, Leonard Nimoy, rest in peace. I think he was really good as Sentinel. I know in G1, he was Galvatron, I think that's his name. Galvatron, yeah. I actually preferred Nimoy as Galvatron more than Frank Welker, but Frank Welker actually got really good in Age of Extinction. Okay, another point I have is action. It's so much better in this movie. The first movie has really good action. The second movie has insane action. I love that one the most. The 3 is also really good. I'll tell you that. Okay, Agent Simmons. Oh, I think he was the best part. I'm pretty sure he appears only in the first 3 movies, like as a character, and then in the 5th movie he's just a cameo, I think, that's all. Okay, Peter Cullen. What can I say? He's a legend. And Optimus Prime is back again. But yeah. Okay, another one I have is James Remar. I actually prefer Andre Suliguzo more as Sideswipe, but James Remar, he's really good. I prefer Andre more, but yeah. Okay, that's for my pros. Let's go to the cons now. Okay, my first con is very little scenes on Megatron. You will not believe that Megatron only has like 3 scenes. He has 1 scene in Africa, another scene in where he shoots Lincoln, as in the statue of Lincoln, and 3rd scene where he actually has 4 scenes. 3rd scene where he's on the floor, literally. And then 4th scene is where he beats the hell out of Sentinel, but yeah. Okay, another con. Ironhide dying. Oh my god. I think this is the thing that I really hate about this movie. It's just Ironhide's death. I know me and Lucamus were really, really upset with Ironhide dying. Like, I was like, why would you kill him? But yeah. Sam. Oh no, not him again. He was so annoying in this movie. And if you watch the first movie, he's tolerable. Second movie, he's annoying. But in third movie, he's the most annoying. But yeah. Oh, Ron and Judy. Oh my god, it's not them again. Oh, you will not believe how many inappropriate things Judy shows. She's like, oh, and is it about your small... yeah. Or is it about your big, you know? I'm not gonna say it, but you get the idea. But yeah, another one. Oh, Carly. I'm pretty sure Megan Fox, she was done with Transformers after the second movie. And now, they got Carly. What can I say? She's not good. But that's it. Anyway, so this is it. So thank you, Lucamus, for inviting me again, and see you later.
Alright, so that's up to me to review this movie. So now, this movie, you know, for me is, you know, a pretty underrated action movie, and I actually own it on DVD, guys. As you can see here, I own it. So yeah, here it is. So yeah, and I gotta say, guys, that this is actually my favourite movie directed by Michael Bay of all time, actually. So yeah, and it is my favourite out of his remakes of Transformers, of course, but it is not perfect in any form or fashion. No, of course not, because you know, the thing is, you know, I do have like a couple of nitpicks with it, several issues, so yeah. You know, that's why, you know, it's not my favourite. My favourite is, of course, Bumblebee. So, yeah. Now, so what's the movie about? So, set 2 years after Avengers have fallen, it follows the warring Autobots and Decepticons' last days of a war as they battle to possess powerful technology from their home world crashed on Earth's moon to restore their home. So that's part of the movie, guys. So, yeah, now, I saw this movie in 2011 in an IMAX cinema, guys, and I gotta say, it was definitely one of my favourite cinema experiences of all time. And yeah, so let's talk about the good qualities of the movie first. So the good qualities is, you know, just like in the previous two movies, the voice acting is once again top-notch by the entire voice cast. For example, Peter Cullen once again delivered an absolutely phenomenal performance as a voice of Optimus Prime. You know, my favourite voice actor of all time, and I'll never cast anyone other than him as Optimus, ever. He will always be Optimus Prime to me, no matter what. You know, and as always, he delivered such a sensational performance in this movie. And I also as well love the introduction of a new character being Sentinel Prime, who was voiced by the legendary Leonard Nimoy, rest in peace, and may he live long and prosper. So yeah. And this is definitely my favourite role of Leonard Nimoy of all time, guys, actually. Yeah, I really did love his voice for Sentinel. Oh, it was really amazing, and yeah. He also, of course, voiced Galvatron in the 96 Transformers movie, even though I don't like that movie. He was still great as Galvatron, my favourite Galvatron of all time, actually. So, yeah. And, you know, when it comes to, you know, to this, you know, he delivered such a great vocal performance as Sentinel. Really great. And Hugo Weaving also returned as Megatron. And he was also once again great as Megatron, in my opinion, guys. You know, he did such a great job, as always. So, yeah, he did so well. And yeah, he did brilliantly, as him, you know, as always, great voice work. And yeah, I also love the return of the other Autobots as well, such as, you know, for example, Ironhide returned voiced by Jess Harnell, Ratchet returned voiced by Robert Foxworth as well. Sideswipe also returned, but unfortunately he was replaced by James Remine instead of Andres Suglioso. And Andre is my favourite Sideswipe, but James Remine wasn't a bad replacement in my opinion. Bumblebee also returned, but unfortunately he's of course still silent and talks via, you know, those noise and over radio as well. So yeah, and when it comes to as well other characters, Charlie Adler also returned as Starscream as well. And furthermore as well, we also got introduced to Mirage as well, but in this movie he was called Dino, I believe due to licensing with a Ferrari, because in the movie he's a Ferrari. And he was voiced by Francesco or Quinn, and unfortunately this was Quinn's final role before his death, shortly after the movie was released, so yeah, rest in peace. George Coe also provided a voice of Wheeljack, who is called Q in this movie. Unfortunately he also died as well, so yeah, rest in peace to George Coe. Tom Kenny also returned as Wheelie, and I gotta say that, you know, Wheelie is so likeable in these two movies for me because he's so funny. Shame he didn't have much screen time in the last night, but yeah, Tom Kenny's my favourite Wheelie because he made him so hilarious, and yeah. Ronald Wilson also appeared in the movie as Brains as well, who is, you know, the friend of Wheelie. And he was pretty funny. Frank Welker also appeared in the movie, reprising his role as Soundwave from the previous movie and also from many other media before. And he also provided a voice of Shockwave as well, and also with Barricade as well. Because what was confusing about Barricade was, despite the fact that Jess Harnell was in the movie as Ironhide, he did not reprise his role as Barricade for some reason. I don't know why. And Shockwave, we'll get on to what I don't like about Shockwave in a second. And I did also like the introduction of the Wreckers as well. They were really hilarious, guys, and they were far better executed comic relief than Skids and Mudflap, who thankfully don't appear in the movie because they got cut from the movie, guys. They did have one scene, I believe, and they got cut, so yeah. I was very happy about that because, you know, I can't stand those characters, and thankfully, you know, in this movie, they did not return. So yeah, and yeah. Now, when it comes to Wreckers, they were so funny, and Ron Bottiter voiced Roadbuster. And also, Leadfoot was voiced by John DiMaggio. Great voice actor, John DiMaggio, one of my favourites. Unfortunately, Topspin, the blue one, was silent for some reason. I don't know why, which is a shame. Because, you know, he was pretty interesting. But, yeah, in my, you know, my audio series that I do, I give him, like, a voice that's similar to Frank Welker. You know, a bit like this a little bit. But, yeah. Sadly, however, you know, he was silent in this movie. which is a big shame because, you know, I thought he was pretty cool Autobot. And I also liked as well, Q Sharp as Laserbeak. I think it's my favourite voice with Laserbeak, but I like him a lot as Einhard in the Cybertron games as well. So yeah. Another great quality is, I mentioned that I saw the movie in IMAX, guys, and I gotta say that the visuals were absolutely stunning. They really were absolutely amazing. I mean, and when I rewatch a movie on DVD, guys, you know, it's still really amazing in terms of visuals. And the CGI for Transformers, it still holds up sensationally, you know, because, in my opinion, the first 3 movies have the best CGI for Transformers. I feel like in the 4th and 5th movies, the CGI is a little bit off, but yeah. But the CGI just holds up so well compared to, you know, 4 and 5 in my opinion, so yeah. Oh, but Bumblebee's is still also amazing as well. Definitely the best that I've seen, yeah. But the CGI definitely does hold up. This is 10 years old, guys. Like, can you believe that? 10 years old. And also, the action, in my opinion, is also easily the best in this movie. Like, I just love the action. Like, there's so much of it. I really love the action. Like, you know, we get to see Transformers dealing with human conflicts, and also we get to see fighting Decepticons. Like, the highway chase with you know, Crankcase, Crowbar, and Hatchet was amazing. And I especially as well, my favourite sequence of the entire movie, guys, is the entire Battle of Chicago, because that was, like, easily the most epic scene I've ever seen in a Transformers movie, ever. And the scene where the Decepticons were attacking the city was also perfectly executed, because we need to show how evil they are, so yeah. I just, however, wish that Megatron took part in the battle, because unfortunately he didn't appear to be seen, you know, fighting the humans with the Decepticons, sadly, which was a massive shame. But yeah, we'll go on to why I didn't like what Megatron in this movie in a second, but yeah. And another good quality I will say, guys, is definitely the music, because Steve Jablonsky's music, guys, is definitely my favourite in this movie. You know, he was absolutely brilliant with his music in this movie. He did so well. And yeah, and you know, my favourite music he did was like the music which is called Battle, and also It's Our Fight and I'm Just a Messenger. There's plenty of other tracks I do also love, like There Is No Plan as well, which is like a sad variation of you know, Arrival to Earth. But yeah, still, the music is amazing in this movie, and definitely, in my opinion, at its best, because I really love it. And yeah, he of course brought back other familiar tracks like Arrival to Earth and also Bumblebee's theme as well, so yeah. But in my opinion, this music was at its best in this movie. I did love it, and 3D was also a major improvement as well, because I saw this in 3D IMAX, guys, so yeah, the 3D was nailed in my opinion. Like, they did so well, that's it, and yeah. And however, and also as well, in my opinion, guys, this movie, in my opinion, was the perfect ending of the movies, because, you know, compared to the first movie, which showed Starscream and Barricade having retreated, of course, and, you know, which set up potential sequels, and also in Revenge of Fallen, how it shows Megatron and Starscream retreating, so their story isn't over yet. This movie, in my opinion, wrapped up the story, because all the Decepticons were defeated, the war was over, so yeah. In my opinion, this movie did not need any sequel, to be honest, guys, you know. Age Extinction, I don't mind that much, but The Last Night I do hate, so yeah. Like, that, in my opinion, was, you know, like, in my opinion, guys, this was definitely the perfect ending, so yeah. But it wasn't the perfect Transformers movie. No, my favourite is Bumblebee. In my opinion, that was a perfect Transformers movie. Now, when it comes to the bad qualities of a movie, guys, so my biggest issue with movie, guys, is once again the humans. I just literally can't stand many of the humans. For example, Sam was so utterly annoying in this movie. Like I said in my Revenge of Fallen movie, he's a more tolerable in the first film, but not in the second or third film. Definitely not. No. And I also, once again, could not stand his parents. They were so cringy, but thankfully, they're barely in the movie, which is why I think Michael Bay Transformers movie, because they're hardly in it, thankfully. So yeah. And when it comes to Carly, I didn't really like her very much. I could not connect to her very well. But in my opinion, she was more tolerable than Michaela in the second film, especially, to be honest. But yeah. But she's not my favourite female character. My favourite female character is, of course, Charlie and Bumblebee. So yeah. But she wasn't that bad, to be honest, but I just couldn't connect to her. I also did not like Dylan Gould played by Patrick Dempsey. Like, I thought he was annoying, and yeah. I like Patrick Dempsey way more in Grey's Anatomy than in this, to be honest. When it comes to other characters, I was still able to tolerate Josh Hamill and Tyrese Gibson as Lennox and Epps, but I don't like how Epps didn't have much screen time. Like, he doesn't appear until like overnight into a movie, guys. So yeah, like, very disappointing because I like Epps, and you know, I did like the addition of John Malkovich as Bruce Braddock as well. He was pretty good, but I like him way more as Lenny in Of Mice and Men movie, and it's probably a great role he's been in as well. When it comes to Frances McDormand, I did not like Charlotte Meering. She really annoyed me, guys. So yeah, you know, I think I like Frances McDormand way more as Dubois in Madagascar 3 Europe's Most Wanted, to be honest. Wasn't really much a fan of Ken Jeong's character either, you know, Jerry Wang. Like, he was a little bit annoying, especially, and don't get me started on the scene where he's drinking the milk in the elevator. That was just so cringe. And also the scene where he gives Sam all those, you know, files in a toilet of all places, you know, like, that was just so cringy, guys. I hated it. But one thing I will say, guys, which is, you know, pretty shocking is, you know, when I saw this at cinema, the entire audience was laughing when his character died for some reason, you know. I mean, I laugh when, you know, Bruce Braddock, you know, or gets a jump scare when he sees him falling past him. But that's it, really, so, yeah. But, yeah, he just annoyed me, that character. I didn't really like Jerry Wang. And, yeah. Now, as well, when it comes, as well, to the cameos, I did, however, love how we got a cameo appearance by Buzz Aldrin, you know, one of the astronauts who went on, who of Apollo 11 in 1969. You know, he actually appeared as himself, guys, which was amazing. And yeah, and also as well, Bill O'Reilly also appeared as well, interviewing Simmons. Simmons was also pretty good as well. I did like Simmons, so yeah. And I also didn't mind Dutch Alan Tudyk, but wasn't really much a fan of him, to be honest, really. But yeah. Now, when it comes to backward regarding the Transformers themselves, you know, my biggest issue with Transformers, guys, is I really hated how Ironhide died when he got killed by Central Prime, who betrayed the Autobots, you know. Like, I really didn't like that at all, because Ironhide's one of my favourite Autobots, and I feel he was incredibly downplayed in this movie, because he got killed, and, you know, like, when I saw the movie cinema, guys, like, my jaw dropped when he died. I was so shocked. Like, poor Ironhide. Like, that was so sad. Like, I felt so bad for Ironhide. And Sentinel became such an unlikable character when he betrayed the Autobots as well, but Leonard Nimoy still gave an amazing performance as Sentinel. Now, when it comes to Decepticons, I also did not like how, compared to the second movie, Megatron was also incredibly downplayed, because he hardly did much of a movie. He didn't have very much screen time, to be honest, but although he did a lot. His scenes were still great thanks to a great voice work by Hugo Weaving, but the only action that he does in the movie is, you know, he meets the Decepticons in Namibia. Then I think we next see him, of course, in Washington, where he shoots the statue of Abraham Lincoln and he sits on the throne, which was a pretty cool shot, I'm not going to lie, pretty iconic shot in my opinion. Then we don't see him again until he comes to Chicago, I believe, yeah. And he doesn't take part in the slaughtering of a human population like the Decepticons do. He instead stands on the Tower of Sentinel where the pillars are. So, yeah. And he doesn't even, you know, do much fighting until later on when he, you know, when he attacks Sentinel, when Carly convinces him that, you know, Sentinel will make him a slave, you know, and not the leader, so, yeah. But I'm very surprised that, you know, when Carly came to Megatron, he didn't just shoot her, you know. Like, why didn't he just shoot her? Because I thought he hated humans, you know. So, yeah. I mean, he even said in the last night that he thinks Earth is hell, so, yeah. Exactly. And when it comes to the Autobots, I also did not like how Wheeljack, aka Q, was also killed as well. I felt pretty bad for him, but you guys were pleased to know that in my order series, I do bring him back as Wheeljack, so yeah. But I do an impression of Chris Latter's voice, because I can't for the life of me do an impression of George Cole's voice, unfortunately. I mean, I'll probably try to one day, but yeah. And yeah. So yeah, those are my issues with the movie, guys. How they killed Ironhide and Q. Like, especially Ironhide, because he died pretty early into the movie, and also Sentinel turning evil. There's also another character that I feel was also incredibly underused and wasted, and poorly characterized in my opinion, guys, which was Shockwave, because I did not like how, you know, I mean, the promotional material for the movie, guys, was very misleading, because it was making out that Shockwave was going to be a main villain of the movie, but he wasn't. He truly was not a main villain, because, you know, Shockwave he first appears in Chernobyl, And then he doesn't appear again until much later on, you know, during Battle of Chicago, and that's it. He was so incredibly wasted in the movie. And not to mention, I did not like Frank Welker's voice work as him. Like, and in my opinion, guys, it was also hard to understand what he was saying as well, because most of his lines were just absolute gibberish. Like, the only lines I could understand was his first line when he says, Optimus. And then later he says, Drillbot is thirsty. So, yeah. Shockwave was, in my opinion, incredibly wasted and underused and poorly characterised with his voice. Like, that's why I prefer other voice actors like, you know, Corey Burton, David Sobolov, and Steve Blum as Shockwave. But, yeah. I always prefer Frank Welker and his voice of Transformers way more as Soundwave and Megatron, and many other characters as well. But not Shockwave, definitely not Shockwave. So yeah, like, you know, I just feel like, you know, Shockwave was a massive letdown in this movie, guys. So yeah. The Drillbot of it was pretty cool, you know, the Drillbot. I'm not going to lie, the Drillbot was very nicely designed and very well visualed as well for what it did, yeah. It was really good. And like I said, the visuals of the movie were very stunning, in my opinion. Amazing. You know, so good. But yeah. And also, it was also confusing how Optimus was able to have a Matrix sort of leadership back with him, because I'm pretty sure when the Fallen put it into the Harvester, and Optimus destroyed the Harvester, that maybe the Matrix got destroyed with it, but, you know, like, so how did the Matrix survive getting destroyed with a Harvester, you know? It's pretty confusing. But yeah, he was able to use to bring that Sentinel to life, so yeah. And when it comes to Soundwave, guys, I did not like how his Ultimate was a Mercedes car, and not like, you know, not like a tape recorder or anything else related to communications, you know, like, you know, a satellite, for example. Like, I didn't really like that, to be honest, guys, really. I'd rather have him be an Ultimate mode, which fits, like, you know, radio and stuff like that, you know, like a radio player or something. Or, like, you know, a satellite, because the satellite, in my opinion, was much better, to be honest. So, yeah, like, it fits his role as communication officer way more, to be honest. So, yeah. I'm really glad that he had Laserbeak because his pet, and Laserbeak wasn't someone else's pet, because I didn't like how friendly he was Barricade's pet in the first film. So, yeah. Thankfully, in this movie, Laserbeak belongs to Soundwave, which is great. So, yeah. But, yeah. But nonetheless, though, guys, this is definitely my favourite movie by Michael Bay. You know, despite the flaws it does have and the issues I have with it. So, yeah. And, yeah. So, like, good qualities is voice acting, visuals, and the CGI, and 3D, and also the battle, and the music, and the action. But, yeah. It does have bad qualities, like, there's many characters, humans, that I don't tolerate at all. You know, like Sam, Carly, Dylan, Sam's parents, and Charlotte Meering. So, yeah. But despite that, guys, however, it is my favourite one by Michael Bay, and just like in my review for my ranking for Transformers that I did last year, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. So yeah, might not be perfect because my favourite is Bumblebee, I give it a 10 out of 10. This is my second favourite Transformers movie of all time, I give it a 9 out of 10. So no drill, guys, be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to leave my comments what you guys think of Dark Arena View, signal to your thoughts are on it. Also, be sure to subscribe to X-Blaze, like I told you, Superstar, and giving some support, he deserves it. And thanks for taking in review again, man, means a lot. It was a pleasure to have you here. Also, be sure to join the team by pressing subscribe for more videos coming in the future. If you'd like to be a member, you can press join if you're using a PC or laptop, or you can click the description. And till all are one.